Unlike the integrative vision of sexuality that we saw earlier in the exhibition, in which queer and straight lived together in communities that were interwoven, in this part of the exhibition we begin to see the development of two polar identities, gay and straight divided. And perhaps no painting better emblematizes, and very early on, that split than this picture by Paul Cadmus, What I Believe. What's striking about What I Believe, the image behind me, is that it's a picture in which gay and straight are literally cleaved in two. Its title comes from an earlier work, a work of literature, in fact, by Cadmus's friend, E.M. Forster, the great then closeted novelist of one of the earliest British gay novels, Morris. In What I Believe, Forster wrote an essay smelling the winds of war, and he begins by saying that if there's to be survival of Western culture in the coming conflagration, it's going to be because, as he puts it, an aristocratic community of the sensitive will keep culture alive. And then he goes on to say, how do you know the sensitive? And he says, well, they know each other. They catch each other's eyes in the street. And the more he talks about this elite of the sensitive, the more the clued-in reader comes to understand that he's talking in coded terms about homosexuals. That was in 1938. In 1948, Cadmus makes this picture using the 1938 title, What I Believe. This is, of course, after the Second World War, after the largest loss of life humanity had ever known. And there, what Cadmus gives us is a divided world. On one side of the canvas, the left side of the canvas, you see a kind of homosexual Arcadia, images of arts, painting, literature, music, architecture, in a kind of beautiful, peaceful world. You see actual portraits. There's E.M. Forster wearing a banner. You see the person drawing is Paul Cadmus, the artist himself. Next to him, his partner, Jared French. Behind them, Margaret French. Together they worked as pajama for the first names of each of the three, Paul, Jared, and Margaret, and produced photographs, one of which is in the exhibition. But what's central about this work is that the other side of the image, the straight side, is one of death and destruction. You notice that even the ground sustains no life. Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini stand at the top, raining destruction down. And then the sea of caricatured humanity, not a progressive one. You'll see images of miscegenation, caricatures of Jews and blacks and other races. It's not a purely progressive vision. What Cadmus is trying to suggest is that Western culture can only survive in the hands of the elite of the sensitive. And so he divides these two worlds, gay from straight, a phallic lighthouse of Alexandria in the middle, and the clouds making a question mark, as if to ask, will culture continue?